I'm going to the police academy.
That's the Citizens Police Academy, Lance.
That's even better. Let's go!
Get everything you want, when you want it, and where you want it, on any mobile or digital device and viewable screen, including that big screen in your living room. Get it on the go, at night, or wherever you want it. 24/7, WBONTV.com. Learn it, love it, use it.
Gwendolyn Morton with WBON TV here with Lance the Lawman Gaither. We are looking at week 6?
Week 6.
Week 6 of Citizens Police Academy. Tell us all about it.
Well, it was supposed to be crime scene investigation. I thought, but it didn't work out like that. I think they said there was construction going on, so we couldn't go to the model crime scene. So instead, they just had the coroner come in, and he spoke to us.
Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite segments of the whole Citizens Police Academy. Were you just hanging on every word?
Yes, he was a very good speaker, and he had some very
Absolutely.
interesting stories to tell.
So what, anything that you took away from that?
He just told a lot of the tales, he told some they weren't very graphic, but they were very depressing stories about the current drug epidemic and stuff like that, and kind of like his stories from how he started and working with different coroners and interesting cases he worked on.
Yeah, one of the things that I took away from that particular segment was, wow, what a job that is needed, and what a job I had no business ever applying for. That's not something that I could ever do. The whole notifying the next of kin would just be the worst idea for me. Couldn't even begin to handle something like that. Did he have any stories that kind of stuck with you that you could share?
He told about just a lot of times just having to go to someone's house at 1 o'clock in the morning and tell them that their son's dead or whatever. He told a few of those stories, which didn't exactly lift the spirits in the room very much.
Right. And the other thing about that is I think with Mr. Cornelison, he has, everybody knows who he is. And so when he shows up at your porch at 3 o'clock in the morning, you probably have a pretty good idea of who's in your home and who's not in your home at the time and what the situation is. So it's one of those thankless jobs who I can't imagine doing it, but thank God we have people like him that can do that.
Probably the one story that sticks out the most to me was he was telling these parents that their kid had died, and he said they were just refusing to believe him, which I thought was pretty sad.
That's a horrible situation. He talked last year a little bit also about some murders around that. Did he touch on that at all?
Yes, he talked about he told one story. It was almost like something out of a movie. I can't remember all the fine details. But pretty much, he was at a liquor store, and a guy he knew told him not everything is as it seems, is what he told the coroner.
I remember this. Yes.
So the coroner is like, okay, that was weird, whatever. But it turns out later that the guy who told him that had the murderer in his house with him or something, and was trying to hint to him that the murderer is with him.
Yeah, it was a lot of big pieces to a puzzle that had to be put together, and he was able to do that and figure out the answer to those questions that had been asked in a certain case. So very interesting. Is that all you had last night? Was just the coroner? What else?
It was just the coroner coming to speak. It was really interesting seeing about that. Which I didn't know exactly all they did. I thought the coroner's job was pretty much just pronouncing people dead, and that was it.
Right. And so it turns out that his job comes into effect anything that's not what they would consider immediately as natural causes. Anything that's suspicious at all would be...
I think he said anything that's not, if they don't pass away in a hospital
or a nursing home,
and I think there might have been something else.
I just remember the hospital and nursing home. Anything that's not in one of those two facilities, he's immediately called to the scene. So during my time at Citizens Police Academy, we always went a little bit long because we get so involved with the speakers and asking questions. Has that been your experience so far? Are you guys getting out a bit on time?
Monday we actually got out a bit early, but then again they couldn't do everything as planned. But we've usually been doing pretty good about getting on time. Usually no more than 30 minutes later than average.
Yeah, that's about what we ran to. The class staying together, everybody's still coming every week, and okay. And what about next week?
Next week we're doing traffic stops, and they said to bring a jacket.
We had to do our traffic stops in the rain. It was just a drizzly kind of fall rain last year when we got to do that, and it was there at the DOCJT, and that was a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, this might be one that I show up for because I might like to be the bad guy this year.
Oh,
So that might be one that I will meet you there next week so that I can
All
see
right.
exactly, be on the other side of it for this time. But that's very interesting, learning how the progression of a traffic stop goes and what the signals are, that something might be right or not be right. So something very interesting
so
for
here's the
next
question:
week.
Do we get to drive the cruiser and flip
You don't
on
get
the
to
lights?
drive
Aw.
anything. I was disappointed by that as well, but you do get to play with the lights. You can play with the lights a little bit, spotlights, sirens, all that kind of stuff. And last year they split us up to groups, and so different groups were working on different kinds of stops and stuff at the same time. So that should be interesting for next week.
It will be. Yeah.
So we're week 6. This is going into week 7
Week 7.
at this point. I mean,
We're nearly
going
done.
fast.
It's going real fast.
Yeah, and did you expect that?
No, I honestly didn't expect it to just fly by so fast. I was like 11 weeks. That's going to be a while, but
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, we're nearly done.
And did you expect to be so interested in this?
I thought it was going to be a lot more boring, to be honest, but it's been really
I
interesting.
completely agreed. I thought, what have I signed up for? 11 weeks. Oh, geez. Every week I'm going to have to dread going to this. Not once
Yes, it's
did I ever
it's
dread.
really worth it. If you
Yeah.
you should definitely try and take it next year.
Have they said anything about when this will be going on again?
They have not. but
Okay, well, we'll keep you up to date on any future Citizens Police Academies. As for right now, we'll be back next week with week 7, which is traffic stops. We'll be here with Lance, the Lawman Gaither, and I'll be back talking with Lance about everything that we learned in week 7. We'll see you back here next week. Gwendolyn with WBON TV,
And
and
I'm Lance the Lawman Gaither.
see you next time.
Stay tuned.